Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here with Rake and Profit. And in this video, I want to share with you a couple tools that I'm using in my Amazon business. So I'm super excited because the year is almost to an end, and I've been putting in a lot of work with my Amazon business. And this year, hitting record numbers in my Amazon business, did over $700,000 in sales, over six figures in net profit. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Steve. I've been reselling for over 13 years. For the last 5 years, I've been buying items from eBay and flipping them on Amazon. So yeah, you heard me right. I buy items on ebay.com, items like books, DVDs, electronics, board games, all different types of items. I'm actually going to share with you some of the items that I've purchased and sold and how much I sold them for. But yeah, I pretty much just buy items on eBay, flip them on Amazon. And there's two main tools that I use. And I wanted to share kind of how I'm using them and how it can benefit you in this business. Now, before we get into this video, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is actually one of the tools that I'm going to be talking about, SellerAmp. Now, I'll be talking more about SellerAmp in a couple of minutes, but again, I want to give a big shout out to SellerAmp. And if you're interested in trying them out after this video or checking out these tools, I'll put links down below. All right, guys, so let's jump into this video and let's talk about these two tools that I'm using in my eBay to Amazon flipping business and how you can use them to make money on Amazon. And by the way, these two tools are actually integrated together now, which is really, really cool. Okay, so the first tool is a tool called Replen Catcher. Okay, Replen Catcher is a tool that I developed over 2.5 years ago, and it helps you to be able to find undervalued products on ebay.com that sell for a lot more money on Amazon. Okay, now I'm not going to go into a full tutorial in this video because there's a live stream to the Replen Catcher where you just set up filters and you could source live. And then there's a replen area. Okay, this is the area that I'm in right now. And this is essentially an area where you can upload your own ASINs, your own products that you want to track and monitor 24/7 on eBay. Okay, so I'm actually in my replens list right now. And any item that you see with this gold background is an item that I've sold before. So for example, this product right here, this Kohler valve cartridge item, I've sold this 19 times in the last 12 months. You can see I keep a chart here. You can see the current prices, the ROI, the profit that I would make if I purchased this offer, the 5 offers that are available. Replen Catcher organizes all the offers that meet your ROI and profit criteria. But these are some of the items that I've sold. You can see all these have gold backgrounds. I've sold this 3 times. I've sold this 6 times, once for 49, once for 48, once for 54. And the cool thing about Replen Catcher as well is we actually just integrated with Sellerboard as well. Now, this is a third tool that I didn't really intend to talk about, but I might as well bring it up. This is a tool that allows you to put in all of your cost of goods and track your net profit, okay? Your total net profit in your Amazon business, not just your sales like everybody shows on social media, but your actual net profit. And we actually built an integration with Replen Catcher where if you click this button right here, it'll actually show you over the last 12 months how much net profit you made on that specific ASIN. So you can see I've sold that DVD 6 times. I've had 0 refunds and I made $109.58 total profit on this item. That brings me to a 35% net margin and a 95% ROI. And what's really cool is you could open up this more button and you could really get a good insight of all of your Amazon fees, your cost of goods, so on and so forth. So that's a really cool integration that Replen Catcher has that allows you to really see how much money you're making flipping an item over a 12-month period. Now, you do need a account to Sellerboard, and I'll put a link down below. It's $20 per month. I'm telling you guys, if you want to know your real numbers in your business, you've got to get an account to Sellerboard. Now, speaking of Seller, I'm not talking about Sellerboard. Let's talk about SellerAmp. SellerAmp is a tool that I use every single day. And this is the main tool that I'm using in my eBay to Amazon business to figure out, do I want to buy an item? Okay. Of course, I'm using Sellerboard to see my history, my net profit. I'm using Replen Catcher to identify the products on eBay. And of course, you've got to look through the pictures, make sure it's the correct item. It's not a mismatch. But we actually integrated Replen Catcher with Sellerboard recently. And if you click this button right here, this is the SellerAmp logo. it'll actually pull in all the information from Replen Catcher, the ASIN, the buy cost, the selling price, so on and so forth. And it'll help you to pretty much research the product. So SellerAmp's a Chrome extension. They also do have a mobile app, and they've got some other features as well, but I mostly use the Chrome extension. And you can see right here that if I bought this item for $14.47 and flipped it for $54.88, which I've actually sold it a couple months ago for $54.99, I would make $18 profit, 33% overall profit margin, 127% ROI, and you could actually see all the sellers on the listing. So I can see that someone's actually selling it for $49.63, but guess what? Once they sell out, the next FBA price is $54.88. So I would definitely price it at $54.88. And the cool thing about SellerAmp as well is not only can you see the rank, if you're eligible to sell it, the monthly sales, the offers, the Keepa chart, the buy box analysis, all this information, but you could also go into the settings and you could add in miscellaneous costs, overhead expenses for virtual assistants, so on and so forth. So I actually have a $7 overhead that's already built into this. So if you look up this exact item, it's going to say you're making a lot more money. But for me, I already have some built-in overhead as well. Now, another cool feature of SellerAmp as well is you can see all the identifiers, ASIN, the UPC, the EAN number. You can see the company that's selling it. This is Warren Brothers. You can see your max cost of what's the most that you can pay for this in order to hit your ROI standards. For me, I want to hit a minimum 50% ROI. So in order for me to do that, the most I can pay is $21.90. And they also have a dynamic Keepa chart where you can actually go in, similar to Replen Catcher, but it's nice to have it in two places and really take a look at the pricing, the history, so on and so forth. A lot of people, they kind of live and die based upon what's the rank right now. Who cares what the rank is right now? Matter of fact, who even cares what the price is now? It's obviously a detail to take into consideration. But what we really want to be looking at is the history of that ASIN, right? Opening up the Keepa chart and taking a look to see where the buy box has been. Okay. And you can see this buy box has been anywhere from 50 up to 55, up to 57, down to about 48. And again, you can see that I've sold this item 6 times, the last 3 times, between around 48 up to 55. So having this integration here is really, really important. Now, here's another example of an item I could buy for $50. I sold it for $90.99 before. It looks like the buy box is at $94.99. Let's hit the Sellerboard integration. It'll pull in all of the information, and you'll see if I buy this right now for $50 on eBay with a Replen Catcher and sell it for $94.69, I'll make $19 profit and a 38% ROI. Okay. So, obviously you want to go in and take a look and research it. I see actually an FBA seller down here really low at 66.53, but I don't care. Let them sell out and the price is going to jump up to 83. Now you can look at this Keepa chart. It was up to 100, came all the way down to about 70, jumped back up to 100. If you want to look at the last 730 days here, you can see the trend. It's pretty steady. So, I sold this for $90.99. So this is definitely, a potential opportunity, but look on Replen Catcher. There's a best offer option. So I'd make a best offer and try to get it for maybe, $38, $39, $40, right? Someone might have bought this at a thrift store or a garage sale for $6 and they don't mind selling it for $40. But yeah, definitely a very powerful tool. And again, big shout out to SellerAmp for sponsoring this video. I don't have a lot of sponsors on this channel. I have a couple and, a couple companies that I really, mess with. Sellerboard, SellerAmp, Be Cool, obviously Replen Catcher, Keepa. I mean, I'm not affiliated with them, but Keepa is a tool that I use as well. But just wanted to shout out SellerAmp and show this integration for anybody who's using Replen Catcher. We're now integrated with Sellerboard and SellerAmp. So there's no excuse, guys. When you're out there sourcing, especially if you're doing eBay to Amazon using Replen Catcher, make sure to use SellerAmp, make sure to use Sellerboard. Yes, you do need a subscription, and I'll put some links down below. If you want to check out Sellerboard, I actually negotiated a 2-month free trial with Sellerboard. So all you have to do is just sign up with my special link down below. You get a free 2-month trial. And also with SellerAmp, I do have a discount code as well, 50% off your first month. So definitely check that out. But there's so many opportunities, guys, right now. I am just so excited. I am so freaking amped up and pumped up for 2026. I mean, I had a killer year, and really my goal is to not only grow my business in 2026, but I want to bring you guys with me. If you're struggling to find inventory at thrift stores or garage sales or library sales, or maybe you're struggling with the used buy box issues and you're like, I'm sick and tired of Amazon messing with the used buy box, the new buy box is fantastic right now. I sell 99.9% new items, and I'm happy to share with you a couple of my items I've actually been selling. So I'm actually going to go into my orders tab of Replen Catcher. And the cool thing is Replen Catcher integrates with Amazon Seller Central. So it'll pull in all of your orders. You could add those items to your replens list. You could track and manage them. I mean, there's a lot of cool features, but here's a couple items that I've sold. This tool item paid $38.99, sold it for $135. A thermostat paid $48, sold it for $99. Here's a calculator, which I actually put on my do not buy list because I've been getting a couple returns on it, but I did sell this for $230. Here's a Delta faucet. Actually, that was a cancellation. Here's a toy right here. I sold this for $99.63. And, a bunch of items. You can see toys, electronics. Here's a DVD that I actually just sold. I paid $81, sold it for $145.99. Let's see how much profit I actually made on that. I'm actually curious. All right, so I'm going to open up Sellerboard and let's see how much. So we paid, I can see in my custom SKU, I paid $81.12. So I'm actually going to update this in Sellerboard. And let's see how much total profit I actually made. So it looks like I made $35.29 profit, 44% ROI, 24% margin, and that's all 100% eBay to Amazon. Buying the item on eBay. I have it go to a prep center and then they ship to Amazon, but for you, you could have the item come directly to your house and you could FBA it, or you could even merchant fulfill it. One of my good friends, Jason, who's in the Replen Catcher community, he's a Replen Catcher user. He's done $90,000 in the last 7 days, and he's 100% merchant fulfilled doing eBay to Amazon. I'm FBA just because I want to just have the lifestyle. I don't want to be dealing with all the packages. I did it for many years. But yeah, just want to share that with you. But yeah, these are some of the items that I'm selling. You can see 12 hours, 13 hours, bunch of different items here. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, big shout out to Seller Amp for sponsoring this video. Big shout out to Replen Catcher, Sellerboard. I'm not making this video, guys, with the goal of just trying to throw softwares down your throat and just pitching and selling. Honestly, I'm just sharing what I'm doing, guys. And unfortunately, the way that at least my business is run, it's necessary to have these softwares, right? It's necessary to have Replen Catcher to find the deals. It's necessary to have Keepa to be able to dive deep into the deals. If you don't have Keepa, that's fine. SellerAmp for $20 a month has a built-in Keepa chart. And then Sellerboard, obviously, to know my net profit, to track my ASIN profitability, and to make sure that we're not consistently buying items that are getting returned all the time. So if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. But with that being said, much love. Thank you, SellerAmp, for sponsoring this video. Check the links down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.